Welcome to your daily stimulus package and second stimulus check update. Hope you are doing well today. Give this video a thumbs up if you support a second stimulus check to struggling Americans. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Consider subscribing now to join this awesome community to stay informed on the latest stimulus updates, economic updates, and financial tips. And if you've been watching this channel but yet to subscribe, you are really missing out. Hit the subscribe button now to stay informed on the latest updates. We've got some really big news to cover in today's update. In today's update, we'll be covering the latest details on the second stimulus check and the next stimulus package. And right here, we have a shocking report, which is a good news in a way, from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And if you've been following the updates, you know that both sides have been in a stimulus deadlock. There's been a disagreement on the provisions in the stimulus package. And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has been speaking up on some of these issues and what the Democrats want to see in the next stimulus package. You know, there's been so much pointing our fingers and blaming each other. But right now, the good news here is that Nancy Pelosi is saying that she's committed, according to this report from CNN that was released today, Tuesday, September 15th. You can see that Nancy Pelosi says she's committed to keeping the House in session until a stimulus deal is reached. And just last week, the Senate Republicans introduced the skinny stimulus bill, but this bill failed to pass in the Senate. Basically, the vote it needed to go through was not was not reached, and the Democrats were primarily the people who blocked the bill because this bill did not include certain provisions that they thought or they believe are key to boosting the economy and helping the American people. And the most important thing to note about the bill is that the second stimulus check was not included. But from what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is saying right now, this sounds like a great news. And according to this report, she says, we are committed to staying here until we have an agreement that meets the needs of the people. Again, let me know your thoughts about this statement in the comment section below. I'm just bringing this research to you so you can make your decision and just kind of figure out for yourself how things are going. But the main thing here is not to beat up this party, saying this party is better than this party. I'm just trying to get the information across to you so you can get up to date and stay in loop with what's going on in the stimulus package talks and what's happening with the second stimulus checks. So this right here is also coming in light of something that just happened today. So there's a group, according to this report from the New York Times, there's this group of a bipartisan group that offered a $1.5 trillion compromise. So they came up with a stimulus plan. So this group, they call themselves the members of the House Problem Solvers Caucus. So they came up with a plan, a $1.5 trillion package. Again, this package is still smaller than what the Democrats want to see, but still higher than what the Republicans are intending to pass or have intended to pass in the past, including the HEROES Act and the $500 billion skinny stimulus bill. But right here, this group is made up of 50 centrist lawmakers, according to New York Times. And on Tuesday, today, they presented a $1.5 trillion plan to prop up the economic recovery. Is basically a stimulus. And the chances of this passing, let me make this clear, the chances of this being a real thing is next to zero. It's pretty much none, right? And this group actually, I feel like they understood that this is just a proposal and their proposal has no chance of making it through. But what this does, this actually spurs up the conversation and sets up a framework that gets both sides to start having discussions again. It's almost like you lighting up the fire or building up the momentum. So this right here, or having these conversations like this, like what this group is doing, kind of builds up that momentum. So this is a good news. At least there are people who are actually putting something together. Whether or not that passes or that becomes a real thing, it helps to highlight the fact that people need some help, that the American people are struggling during this period, and that people are facing financial stress. So right now, this group, whatever they proposed in here, yeah, they did have some provisions like things with the unemployment benefits, and then they also had the direct checks, the $1,200 or more for American taxpayers. Then they have things like the PPP program in here for small businesses. But again, what they were proposing for the Jobless Act is basically a $450 per week program, which is not necessarily what the Democrats want. The Democrats want a $600 per week benefits for millions of unemployed Americans. But this is, again, me bringing this up is not to give you hope that something is passing that $1.5 trillion, just to keep you in the loop so you know what's going on with the stimulus package. So let's go right back into what CNN reported from House Speaker Pelosi. So Pelosi is saying that she's keeping the House. She also maintained her stance. So the Democrats are still maintaining their stance that they won't be going below $2.2 trillion. If you've been following the updates, you know the HEROES Act was passed in May at the $3.4 trillion price tag, but then this got blocked in the Senate. This basically didn't make it past the Senate, but it was passed in the House. And right now, through the stimulus talks between the White House and the Democrats, so the congressional Democrats were able to come down by $1 trillion. So they came down to $2.2 trillion, and that's the price tag they want for the bill. And Nancy Pelosi is saying, according to this report, she clearly said a skinny deal is not a deal. So that's what Nancy Pelosi is saying. So she wants something that's loftier. She wants something that actually includes the money for more provisions that they added in there, like the second stimulus check, housing assistance, and also money for like food assistance and state funding and state and local government funding. Remember, the state and local government funding was not included in the skinny stimulus bill, and also the second stimulus checks weren't included. So let me know your thoughts about this. And something interesting, a report from Vox that I really wanted to point out just in case you were wondering. So this report from Vox kind of highlights the impact or the effects that the failure of Congress to pass a stimulus bill is having on minority groups. And I'm going to go through this really great chart from Vox. So this chart right here, I think this chart came from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, but it was showcased on this Vox report. So it shows the people of color continuing to face higher unemployment rates in the recession. And right here, you can see the races. And this is not about, I'm not trying to make this about race, right? I'm just trying to highlight the impact of the stimulus delay in Congress on different groups of people in America, according to this report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And as you can see the percentages, the different groups. So Black Americans are facing 13%, and you can see Asian Americans have a 10.7%. These are the unemployment rates. And then you can now see the Latinos, the white Americans have a 7.3%, and you can see the graph for the Latinos right here, that's 10.5%. And out of these, you can see how this affects all groups, and it doesn't affect all groups proportionately. There's a disproportion in how this delay in stimulus package is affecting the different groups of people in America. Again, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. While we wait for Congress to finalize the next stimulus package, you may have to pick up a side hustle or a side gig to get some cash or make some extra money from home. Be sure to check out the video on the left to discover the one-of-a-kind website that pays you hundreds to thousands of dollars to just read out loud. This is a free, simple, and exclusive side hustle, and in this video, you'll discover the step-by-step process to get started today. And if you want the best-kept secret to increase your credit score fast, check out the video on the right. Don't forget to help others find this video quicker by liking this video and sharing it. And also, be sure to subscribe now as we track the latest progress on the next stimulus package. See you in the next update. Be safe and thank you for watching.